Welcome to this deep dive. We grab a source, something interesting, and we pull out the key stuff you need to know, nice and quick.
Yep, straight to the point.
Today, we're looking at an article from Cognitive Market Research. It's called Reddit. Discover Market Dynamics with the Help of Public. Written by Nisha Dior.
Right. Published just recently, October 7th, 2024.
And our mission, well, it's to figure out how Reddit, the big social media platform, can actually clue us into what's happening in the markets.
It's kind of fascinating, actually, how this place built for discussion ends up being this gold mine for market intelligence, raw data, pretty much.
Okay, so the article starts with Reddit's karma system. Now, maybe not everyone listening spends hours on Reddit. So what exactly is karma, and why does it matter for this market stuff?
Okay, so karma, think of it as a reputation score, basically, a digital one.
A score.
Yeah. Users get points when their posts or comments get upvoted. When other people think what they shared is good or useful.
And they lose points for downvotes, I assume?
Exactly. Downvotes subtract karma. And there are actually two kinds. You've got post karma. That's for things like links or pictures or starting a discussion.
Yeah.
And then there's comment karma, just from your replies to other people. Your total karma, it's right there on your profile. It's kind of a measure of your standing in the Reddit world.
So it's not just internet points for fun. If someone has high karma, does that mean something?
It often does, yeah. It generally signals that someone's credible, they engage positively. People might trust someone with high karma a bit more, see them as more knowledgeable within that community.
Oh,
It's sort of this built-in social proof, peer validation driving perceived authority.
And that article mentioned karma thresholds. Some parts of Reddit use these.
Right. Think of it like a bit of quality control.
Okay.
Some specific communities, or subreddits as they're called, they set a minimum karma level you need before you can post or comment.
Why do that?
It helps weed out spammers, maybe bots, or just really low-effort posts. Keeps the conversation quality a bit higher for people who are genuinely part of that community.
Gotcha. So it keeps the noise down in those focused areas. Okay, that makes sense. Now, subreddits, you mentioned them.
Right.
The article really dives into these. What are they, and why are they so key for understanding markets?
Right, subreddits. Okay, imagine Reddit is this huge city. Subreddits are like individual neighborhoods or maybe clubs, each one dedicated to a very specific topic.
How specific?
Oh, really specific. You have massive ones, like for technology is a classic example, but then you get super niche ones like or mechanical keyboards or maybe classic cars.
Wow.
And the key thing is each one is its own little world. It has its own rules, its own moderators, its own vibe, really. And there are over 1 million of them.
Over 1 million, seriously.
Yep. Covering pretty much anything you can think of. That's why it offers such a detailed view of what people are passionate about, what they're talking about.
So how does a business use that? How do you tap into, 1 million different conversations?
Well, you don't track all 1 million. You find the ones relevant to your industry, your product, your customers.
Okay.
The article uses a good example. A company making gaming gear. They could watch subreddits like Gaming or maybe RPC Master Race.
And see what gamers are actually saying.
Exactly. They see what keyboard features people are excited about, what headsets drive them crazy, what problems they wish someone would solve. It's raw, unfiltered feedback, not like a survey where the questions are already set.
Huh. It's
Yeah.
like a giant ongoing focus group, but
Oh,
messier and maybe more honest.
that's a great way to put it. More honest, definitely. And yeah, it's not just about specific products. You can use subreddits for wider market research, for sentiment analysis.
How does that work? Looking at the comments?
Comments, yeah, but also the voting. Lots of upvotes on a complaint, that tells you something. Lots of downvotes on a particular brand mention also tells you something. You can gauge the general feeling about products, services, brands, even competitors.
And can companies actually talk back?
Sometimes, yes. Some businesses jump into relevant subreddits to answer questions, offer support, maybe even run Ask Me Anything sessions, AMAs, direct engagement.
Okay, so the article highlights some big upsides to using Reddit like this. What really jumped out?
Well, first, just the sheer amount and variety of content. It's huge across all sorts of fields: tech, healthcare, crypto, e-commerce, you name it.
Right.
Then there's the real-time aspect. You're seeing opinions and trends basically as they happen, not after the fact. People tend to be pretty open, pretty honest, which gives you that unfiltered sentiment.
Which is valuable.
Hugely valuable. And this idea of crowdsourced discussions, you're tapping into the collective brainpower of a large, often very knowledgeable group. It can help spot trends early, find gaps in the market, and like we said, the chance for that two-way chat.
But it can't all be smooth sailing. There must be downsides, challenges.
Oh, definitely. A big one is just how messy the data is. It's unstructured, right? Meaning it's not in neat rows and columns like survey results. It's conversational, informal language, slang spread all over the place. Analyzing it systematically is tough. You often need specific tools or skills.
And probably a lot of time.
A lot of time and resources, yeah. Just monitoring the relevant places effectively with the sheer volume of posts and comments flying around is a major commitment.
What about the people on Reddit? Is it like a skewed sample? Does it really represent everyone?
That's a really important point. Reddit users do tend to be younger, maybe more tech-savvy than the general population. So yeah, the opinions you see might not perfectly mirror the entire market. There's a potential bias.
Okay.
And anonymity. It's a double-edged sword. It helps people be honest, sure, but it also makes it easier for misinformation to spread or for people to just troll. You have to be skeptical, use your judgment when looking at the data.
Can't just take it all at face value.
Not at all. Critical evaluation is key.
So moving on slightly, the article also talks about how actual market research firms can use Reddit. What's the angle there?
For them, Reddit is this enormous database of user-generated content. Think about it. Over 430 million monthly active users, the article says.
Wow, it's a lot.
It's huge, and they're talking, debating, sharing opinions constantly. So for market researchers, it's fantastic for real-time qualitative data, getting that authentic voice of the consumer.
That authenticity seems to be the recurring theme,
Yeah.
getting the real opinions.
Exactly. It's about getting past the polished answers you might get in a formal setting. Market research firms can monitor specific subreddits to spot emerging needs, trends, pain points, stuff that might fly under the radar with traditional methods.
It's like sentiment analysis, you mentioned that before.
Right. They can analyze the language, the upvotes, the downvotes to get a really nuanced picture of how the public feels about something. And it's great for trend spotting, seeing what ideas are gaining traction, how consumer attitudes are shifting. It helps anticipate what's next.
Okay, now there was a fast fact mentioned in the article. Something about personalized recommendations.
Yeah. It was from a 2023 Consumer Trends report, I think. It said a big chunk of consumers, like a strong majority, feel that personalized product recommendations really improve their shopping experience.
And how does that tie into our Reddit discussion?
Well, that desire for personalization, it depends entirely on understanding what individuals actually want, right? On a deep level.
Sure.
And Reddit, with its super specific subreddits, gives you that. You find these groups of people who are incredibly passionate and knowledgeable about very particular things, the detailed discussions they have, the features they love, the tiny things that annoy them. That's incredibly rich data for companies trying to create those personalized experiences.
It's like getting direct access to the wish list of your most dedicated potential customer.
Precisely. The granularity is amazing.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. If we boil it all down, what are the main things to take away about using Reddit for market insights?
I'd say the core messages. Reddit is this really dynamic, often overlooked source of real-time market intelligence. You've got the karma system showing community standing, you have these countless subreddits for deep dives into niche topics, and you get raw, authentic user feedback.
But with caveats.
Absolutely. You have to grapple with the messy data, the time commitment, and be aware of potential biases in the user base and the risk of unreliable info. But despite those challenges, the sheer volume, the immediacy, and the honesty make it a powerful resource. Businesses, researchers, they really should be looking at it to get a deeper feel for their markets.
That sums it up well. And it leaves me thinking, and maybe something for you, the listener, to ponder. With all this incredibly specific, real-time chat happening on Reddit, what new tools or methods could businesses ethically create to really harness this? To get even deeper insights, maybe in ways we haven't even thought of yet. Seems like there's huge potential still untapped.
Definitely food for thought.
Yeah. And hey, maybe just go browse some subreddits related to your own job or hobbies. You might be surprised what you find, the level of discussion, the passion. You might even spot the next big thing brewing. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.